All right. I think we're ready to present.
I think we're ready, yeah.
Awesome. That's great. Well, first, thank you guys so much for joining us, and welcome everyone to our 2026 grade summer bridge program for rising sixth graders. This is such a fun moment. Whether we're doing it virtually or not, this is a big opportunity for everyone to really come and celebrate that big moment of joining middle school. And so this is all about you. This is a great time for you guys to ask questions and really learn about what we're about to get into. And we're very excited at GLOW, and every teacher is really excited to meet everyone and begin your journey at GLOW. Before we get started, I just wanted to go over a few pieces of etiquette for our presentation today, just to kind of keep things rolling nicely. Throughout the presentation, if you want to keep your microphone muted, there'll be plenty of opportunities to ask questions and kind of join in on some fun activities. But for right now, until we get them while people are talking and presenting, let's make sure we're keeping that mics muted. Keep your camera on, if it is on. Keep things professional, make sure there's no distractions and all that goodness. And we're going to save questions, and we're going to utilize the chat box to raise your hand. So at any point during the presentation that you have a question, you got something you don't want to forget, keep your mic muted, and then just put in the chat box, I have a question, and then I'll be notified of something that someone has a question, and we'll go from there. So we'll make sure we address all the questions and things like that, and just make sure I'll minimize distractions. We don't have a cat jumping on the computer or loud noises going around. That way you can, help pay attention and stuff. But we're going to go from there. So before we begin, we're going to have a fun opening activity. So if you happen to have a pencil or a pen and a piece of paper, see if you can find that in reaching distance, and go ahead and grab that. We're going to have a few questions and go from there. So I'll give you about a minute or so, see if you can grab a pen or pencil. And it was directed at Ms. Tomlin's cat. All right, so we got a fun little activity just to kind of get our brains thinking, what's going on at middle school? What are our thoughts? What is it going to be like? It's a new adventure for all students and even some teachers. So we're going to look at two questions. First, I want you to write down, what are you excited most about entering middle school? What is something that you keep thinking about that's so exciting? And then on the other side, what are you most nervous about by entering middle school? And everyone gets a little nervous. So what are some things that you might have a question about later, something that you're unsure of? Write those things down. Let's take a minute or two to think about those questions, and then we're going to utilize that chat box. We're going to raise your hand. If you would like to share one or two, please do so, and then we'll go through raise our hand. If you do not want to share, try to save this piece of paper for your first week of school, something that we can look back on. So let's take that first minute or two, and then we'll be looking for raising hands in the chat box, and we'll start calling on people. And then this can go for teachers too. What are you most excited about, and what are you most nervous about?
Awesome, Michelle. That's always the exciting part about the adventures at school.
So let's take about one more minute, wrapping it up, your last minute thoughts or ideas. And if you want to share, please join on in the chat box, just letting us know that you have a question. All right. Let me open the chat box here and take a look. It looks like Miss Tomlin would like to share. So Miss Tomlin, you unmute your mic there.
So I am most excited about meeting new students, and I've gotten to talk to a lot of your families last week. And I'm nervous about doing a good job. I want to do a good job teaching math to 6th graders.
Great. Ms. Johnson, I see that you wanted to share. If you want to unmute your mic and go ahead and share with us, that'd be awesome.
I am most nervous about, I am most excited about the activity at the school. And I am most nervous about meeting new people, but at the same time, very excited about it.
That's great.
It looks like we also have a Miss Lawton that wants to share.
Well, I'm most excited about learning new things and meeting new people. And I'm most nervous about all the work.
It's understandable. All right. Does anyone else want to share?
I'm also nervous about the work, so you're not alone in that.
Does someone want to share? I see a mic flickering on and off. Does someone want to share real quick? All right. All right. Like I said, if you don't want to share, that's okay. But keep that piece of paper and tuck that away in your notebook if you have one, or your book bag, and try to remember to bring that to your first week of school. That might come in handy. So we're going to move on from here. And like I said, if you have any questions, go ahead and put that in the chat box, and we'll once we find that pause, we'll address a lot of questions. And don't hesitate. This is a very exciting moment. This is something for you guys, so we definitely want to address any of your concerns or questions. And so first, we want to introduce the administration, some of the people you might have been talking to through this virtual meeting and chat. First, we have Miss Laura Hunter. She is our principal here. Miss Hunter, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, everybody. I'm so really excited to meet everybody and to see everybody. This is kind of a wonky school year, and usually in Summer Bridge we have everybody on campus at the same time, and we are having fun and getting to know each other and delving into what life is going to be like at GLOW. But this year was a little weird. So we're going to roll with it, because that's what we do in life. We adapt and change and move forward, and we're still going to have a super fun school year. So just a little bit about me. I am the founding principal here at GLOW Academy. So GLOW has never had another principal except for me, which is exciting, but also a lot of responsibility. And so I have a lot of ownership over all of the girls on campus. And as you will learn, as you start to join us, I know everybody's name, and I know about everybody's family, and I am into everybody's business. So you can't hide from me at GLOW Academy. I will find you and get to know you no matter what. I have 3 boys. So at school all day long, I'm with over 300 girls. And then I go home to all the boys at my house. So I have 3 boys. I have an 8th grader, and I have twin 5th graders this year who are actually here at GLOW Academy with me today. So I'm really excited to see all of you and to meet all of you. And I'm really excited to introduce Miss Garza, who is our other administrator here at GLOW Academy, and also one of my bestest friends. She and I share this work together. So Ms. Garza, you want to introduce yourself?
Hey everybody, let me tell you about this picture. Let's get started there. This is my first day at GLOW last year. Can you tell how excited I was? You can't see my eyes. This is how you know if I'm really excited, because you cannot see my eyes when I'm really smiling for real. That is a real thing. Hello, everybody. I'm Mrs. Garza. This is my second year at Glow Academy, and I'm so excited to be joining back, even though it's a weird joining moment, as Ms. Hunter mentioned. This year, I'm excited to be wearing a hat of all things related to academics. So as we get into the school year and you've got questions about courses and things that you should be taking, I might be the person that you want to reach out to. Right now, while we are in this quarantine moment, I have been so blessed to have my children with me at home. Like Miss Hunter, I have 3 children as well, but I've got 3 girls. So we just, you know, we keep it in threes is what we do here on the admin team. I've got 3 girls, and my oldest is in the U.S. Navy, and she comes home in 3 weeks. We are really excited. She's coming home in 3 weeks to visit and have a birthday. And she keeps reminding me that her 18th birthday was spent in boot camp. So I'm trying really hard to not disappoint. She's evidently expecting some big things when she gets home. So we'll do our best. Like Miss Hunter, I will definitely be in your business, hopefully for all good reasons, and know that the administrative team here is here to support you all the time and to support our teachers. And we're just so excited to see a new group of beautiful faces on our campus, whether it's our online campus or our on-site campus. We're just so excited to see all of you. And I look forward to meeting you and learning everybody's names and not holding you, not attaching you to any of your siblings if you already have siblings at your school. I will not do that. I have 4 sisters, so you get to start off fresh, Miss Lawton. No worries. You get to start off fresh. And I need to introduce the next administrator. Isn't that right, Miss Hunter? I got to follow suit. So I am very excited to introduce another administrator that we have coming on board, our Dean of Students this year, Mr. Askia Kirby.
Good afternoon, wonderful ladies. I hope you guys are doing well. So excited to be here. They didn't put a picture up because they didn't want to scare you off, which is great. But my name is Askia Kirby. I am the Dean of Students. My job here is just to support you guys along your way and make sure that you have everything you need to make this wonderful journey a success for you from 6th grade all the way up to 12th grade when you guys graduate from here. We all have something in common. This is going to be your first year, and it is my first year as well. As a matter of fact, I'm only 3 days in, hitting the ground running and enjoying every minute of it and looking forward to meeting you guys. Just a little bit about myself. I guess it is in threes because I have 3 beautiful young ladies myself. So we do travel in threes here in this admin team. 3 girls, 2 that are out of school, and 1 5-year-old. Pray for me. That we are, you know, that I love dearly with my wonderful wife of 8 years. But I've been in education now for 20 years, and was excited to get on board with the Glow family and work with you young ladies and help you become the wonderful queens that you're going to become here. I will be around. I don't know how much of your business I'll be in, but I will be around and doing everything I can to help support you. And I will be here as a resource if you need anything, if you need any help. You probably don't want to come to me right away because I don't know much about the building. I'm learning as we go. So we will learn together. And if I don't know it, I will find somebody who will get the answer for you. And if you're afraid, don't worry. I'm just as scared. I don't know if I've ever been around just 300 young teenage girls at one time like this in this capacity. So I'm just as nervous and just as scared. So don't worry about it. We will get through this together. I don't know. Do I just turn it back over to Mr. Mitro, or am I introducing the next person?
I'll take it over.
Yeah.
And my apologies, Mr. Kirby. I think I was presenting while I edited the presentation, so it never synced up, and so I'm sorry your name and picture wasn't on there.
Like I said, it was probably you saved the whole presentation by not having my photo up there. Trust me.
All right. Oh. There we go. Sorry. And so we're going to go into the Glow's history. Kind of what is Glow and kind of how did we get here to what we do? So I'm going to pass that off to Ms. Hunter again, and she's going to talk a little bit about how we got started and really who we are and what we do.
Okay, so the really exciting thing about Glow Academy is that we are not in this together, in this alone. We are in this together with some other schools. So Glow actually is part of a sister network of schools nationwide. We are the 18th school in the Young Women's Leadership Network. There's actually a school that came after us, so there are 19 schools total, and they're all over the country. There are some in New York City, there are some in Texas, there's a couple of schools up and down the eastern seaboard in Rochester, New York, and in Baltimore, Maryland. And there's some schools in the Midwest, in Kansas City and in St. Louis and in Chicago. And we all share the same mission and purpose, and that is to make sure our girls graduate, go to college, and have very successful lives in adulthood. And so we're doing this work together. Our first school was the East Harlem School, and they opened back in 1996. And actually, our college-bound counselor at Glow Academy, Miss Jaleese Hadley, was a graduate of the Young Women's Leadership School, our sister school in East Harlem. And she brings all of that wisdom and experience to our school at Glow. So as you look at some of these photos, you'll see that we share some similar stuff with our sister schools. We're all girls' schools, so no boys allowed except for our own faculty, right? So girls' school, we all are middle school and high school combined. So all of the Young Women's Leadership schools have both middle schoolers and high schoolers that go to school together. And if you'll notice in all of these pictures, they're all from different schools and they all have something in common. And that is everybody at the Young Women's Leadership Network schools, including Glow Academy, wears uniforms. So we all share the uniform culture together. And as you see across all of these pictures, we share a lot of other stuff too, like having fun while learning, sisterhood, loving science, having a diverse school culture with lots of different perspectives and backgrounds and people. But the most important thing we share is that all of our students, whether you're in Wilmington, North Carolina, or Baltimore, Maryland, or New York City, or Austin, Texas, will go through high school, graduate, and go to college. That is a non-negotiable with us. And we are so excited that you have joined in on that mission today.
Thank you so much, Ms. Hunter. So we're going to move in from this big picture of who we are and all the different things that this girls network is, and look at Glow. Who are we? What is the sixth grade team made of, and what is a life at Glow like? So we're going to start off by introducing some of our teachers on the sixth grade team. Some of the teachers weren't able to make it today, but for those that are, we'll take a second to introduce ourselves and move on from there. First, we have Miss Pap Shelton. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hey everybody, my name is Mrs. Pap Shelton. I have been teaching middle school ELA for 7 years, and I'm so excited to go on this blended learning in-person journey of fun with you guys.
Thank you. Ms. Sharp? Is she here? Okay.
Yeah, I'm here, Mr. Mitros. Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Hello, my name is Ms. Sharp. This is my 15th year teaching middle school. I'm originally from Jacksonville, North Carolina, and I relocated to Wilmington 3 years ago. This is my 3rd year at Glow. My 2 disciplines that I teach in general are humanities and science. And so I look forward to teaching you humanities and the relevant, oh, that's my grandson, sorry. And the relevance of how humanities / social studies is relevant to your life. I would like to make a little announcement. I just had a tragic loss. I lost my husband about 3 weeks ago. And so Miss Sharp may be a little weepy, which may make you think she's a little crazy. I am a little crazy, but I'm a little crazier than usual. So yeah, but welcome. I look forward to all the new adventures that we're gonna have together. Have a great time. We're gonna learn a lot of stuff, and you're never gonna look at history the same again.
Thank you, Ms. Sharp. Ms. Adams?
Hey, everyone. First wanted to shout out to Ms. Sharp. We love you, and you all will love Ms. Sharp as well. This is going to be my 4th year at GLOW, and I teach social studies. And this year I'm going to be teaching 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade. So I will know pretty much everybody. I'm super excited to see you all, and look forward to our first day.
Thank you. Stephanie, are you on with us today? Okay. Stephanie is one of our wonderful teachers, and she is part of the EC program. Hey, that's me. My name's William Mitro. I teach 6th grade science. I'll also be teaching 7th grade science this year as well, and I'm really excited. Usually I teach social studies and science, and this is my first year I get to do all kinds of science. I'm very excited about it, especially tackling a new system of blended learning. I'm very excited about that. I've been teaching at GLOW. This is going to be my 2nd year. I have a wife and a little girl who's 5 years old, and my dog, and we spend a lot of our time outside in the garden, only when a hurricane doesn't come through and tear up your butternut squash and your corn, but we will rebuild. Mr. Jones. I thought I saw. There we go.
Yeah, I'm struggling with the mic mute button there. So yeah, I'm Jerry Jones. I'll be teaching 6th and 7th grade middle school science. I'll be teaching in the AIG track. I'll be teaching a little bit of high school as well. So kind of like Miss Adams, I'm going to know everybody walking through the halls of the school. This will be my 3rd year teaching ever. My first teaching assignment was GLOW. Before that, I was a lab manager for an environmental chemistry company here in town. So I did soil science, water science, a little bit of air quality science, all kinds of cool stuff. Then I found my true calling, teaching. I have 2 kids, so I'm helping to break the train here. My oldest, Elijah, is going into high school this year, and my youngest, Grace, will be a 7th grader next year. I had the pleasure of teaching her last year. And she'll have the pleasure of Mom's company, who is also a teacher. So we are a 3/4 GLOW family here in the Jones household. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Thank you, Mr.
Too,
Jones.
I don't really like the dog.
Ms. Tomlin?
Sorry, had to get the mute button to unmute. Hi, everybody. My name is Carrie Tomlin, and I am 6th grade math. I'm a 6th grade math teacher. This is my 26th year of teaching and my 2nd year of teaching at GLOW. As you can tell by my picture, I like participating in school-wide events. I'm one of those teachers that's just very excited about all of the fun activities that we do at GLOW. And I'm also a teacher that's going to try to convince you that math doesn't suck. It really isn't all bad. So we're going to have a good year, and I am so looking forward to meeting all of you.
Awesome. Thank you, Ms. Tomlin. Sarah.
Hello, I'm Ms. Stepansky. This is my 6th year teaching, but my 1st year here at GLOW. So I'm very excited to meet all of the new girls and also the fellow staff members. I'm right there with Ms. Tomlin. I am on the train to make math everybody's favorite class. If you love math, if you're afraid of math, we love you all. Come to us and we'll try to change your mind that way. Really excited to see the campus. Haven't seen the campus yet, but next week I will. And so I'll be fumbling around the hallways with all of you girls. Unless you've already been there, then you might know it better than me too. So excited to meet everybody.
Awesome, thank you. I don't believe Miss Gabby's on here, but she was also part of our GLOW team, and she is in the EC department. Miss Staley, were you able to join today?
Yes, I am here. Hi guys, my name is Meredith Staley. I am the school social worker here at GLOW. This will be my 3rd year at GLOW, and as a school social worker, my job is just to support all students in any way that I can. Maybe in normal times, it might be a shoulder to cry on or somebody to talk to, but maybe from 6 feet, we can do that, or virtual meetings, things like that, connecting families to resources. I'll be leading some groups this year, just a whole lot of fun stuff. So I'm really excited to get to meet all of you guys, and that's my little bio.
Thank you. Although she is not any less important, I believe we left out a slide of a wonderful Miss White. Are you available to introduce yourself, Annie?
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. I added that slide, but then I added one later and I took that one away. Sorry.
Yeah, I think they're not syncing up for some reason. Sorry.
Hi, I'm Annie White. I am going to be your STEM electives teacher this year. So if you are taking STEM, you will be having that with me. Similar to many teachers here, I also teach a variety of other things. So I'll also be teaching high school courses and AP psychology in the spring. So I am going to be in the student center this year. So hopefully you guys will be seeing a lot of me and I'll be seeing a lot of you. And I'm really excited. We've got some really great plans for some virtual computer science and coding to kick us off while we have to stay away from each other. So it'll be a blast.
Awesome. Mr. Davis, did you want to introduce yourself now or when we get to the art department?
I'll go briefly now. Hi, Mr. Grayson. I teach art. Talk to you later down the slides.
Classic. So we're gonna move on, and did I forget anyone else? I think that covers our team here. All right, we're gonna move on and look at and start going into what it means. Oh, Miss White did show up.
Mr. Mitra.
Yes.
Miss Michaels and Miss Futrell are on the call too. And
okay. Let's go ahead and make those introductions then. Miss Futrell.
Hey guys, sorry, I have a very, very active 7-month-old over here, so but I'm Miss Futrell, and I am going to be heading up a lot of your academic programs this year, including AIG and AVID, which we are super excited about. That's Noah in the background, if you can hear it. And so I'm excited to meet all of you guys and to see your faces on campus.
Awesome, thank you. Ms. Tomlin, who else did you say was able to join us today?
Miss Michaels and Miss Fernandez.
Okay. Ms. Michaels, did you want to go ahead and introduce yourself? I think we'll touch base with culinary in a little bit, but like Mr. Davis, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself? That would be cool.
Hey everybody, like Ms. Mitro said, I'm Ms. Michaels. I help out teaching cooking, and when we get to that elective, we can delve into that later.
Awesome. Ms. Fernandez?
Hi, everyone. I'm Marilyn, and I am the outreach coordinator here at GLOW Academy. Some of you incoming new 6th graders may have heard of me, spoke to me toured with me, and I'm super excited for everyone this upcoming school year. See you soon.
Awesome, thank you. All right, I think we covered all the bases, and I hope I didn't leave anyone else out. But we're going to go into the Glow Girl way, what it's like to be a Glow Girl, and a lot of things that build on top of that. I'm going to pass this off to Miss Melissa Pat Shelton, and she's going to talk about kind of the school colors, our pledge, and stuff like that, and kind of what it means to be a student here.
Okay, so as you can see, our school colors are purple, gray, yellow, and orange. And those colors are basically in each and every classroom on a back wall, depending on what building you're in, just depends on the color. So let's go to the next slide. So every single day at Glow Academy, we say the Sisterhood Pledge, but it's not just words, it's a way of life. So when we say that we respect ourselves and each other's needs, we're never going to put ourselves in a situation where we're going to make wrong decisions, and we're going to be respectful and kind because everybody has needs for respect. We never leave a sister behind. If a Glow sister needs help, we're going to help her. If a Glow employee needs help, we're going to help them. It's a whole community. So you're not just joining a school, you're joining a whole community that loves you and supports you. Being lovingly honest comes with the territory. Sometimes we need to say some things in a respectful and positive-ish kind of way, but it might be hard to hear, and that's all part of learning and growing. And we are strong, and we are brave, and we will get through anything that's in our way together, and we'll navigate that, and we'll support you, and we're here for you. The phoenix. So the phoenix rises from the ashes and symbolizes strength and renewal. And the reason why our mascot is the phoenix is because you're going to transform and you're going to grow into this amazing young women, and we're going to help you along the way. The phoenix is the perfect mascot for Glow because it represents the hard times we all go through and the resulting transformations. You will not be the same person that you start this journey as, and that's exactly the way it's intended.
That was great. Thank you so much, Miss Pat Shelton. We're going to move into a kind of what Miss Hunter already talked about, looking at uniforms and how all this kind of brings together. I'm going to pass this over to Miss Staley, who you might see with some uniform needs time to time. If you were perhaps in science class and you just sat on a big tub of glue while building a rocket or something, you might need a new pair of pants or a shirt or something, and she'll be there to help you out. So, Miss Staley?
Awesome. All right. So everybody, I would say most people have some mixed feelings about uniforms. Sometimes folks, want to show their personality through what they wear. But there's a lot of positives to also wearing uniforms. So the reason that we have uniforms here at Glow is to really create a professional feel for you as we're trying to prepare you to be successful in college and then in life and have really awesome careers one day. So that's kind of part of that journey is starting with the uniforms and to build a unified culture at school where everybody's, kind of wearing the same thing and you feel connected through that piece. So that's my pitch for uniforms. Hope that sticks. Okay, can you actually go back to the picture? I feel like that might be a little bit easier. So let's talk about dress code a little bit. So you can see here we got some Glow girls that are wearing their polos. So the polos come in either purple or yellow. You can also choose with bottoms to wear either pants or a skirt. This year we have expanded, which is a big thing that I don't think everybody knows, but it's not just going to be navy pants that you could wear, but also black pants. So give you a little bit more variety. Once you make your way up into high school, you would be able to wear khaki pants or khaki shorts or a khaki skirt. That's kind of just an option that we just give to high schoolers. So for middle schoolers, just make sure the pants that when you're on campus that you need to wear would be black pants or navy pants. The Glow polo, gotta have the polo. And then there's a couple different outerwear items that you can see. There's a fleece, I think that is the second picture here. It's really cozy. You can get that at the uniform store, and all that information is listed on this slide. You can see the option of the skirt. There's this gray skirt, or there are the plaid skirts, which you can see in the pictures of some of our Glow girls. Jordan in the picture to the right, she is wearing, it looks like the windbreaker. They have a pullover that's like a sweatshirt type thing, and I think it's $15 at the uniform store, so pretty affordable stuff. Let's go to the next slide if you don't mind. All right, so this is just kind of breaking down basically everything that I just said. I just want to make sure I'm getting all the little caveats. So sometimes when you go into the uniform store, you're going to see some items like basketball shorts and leggings. So those are only if you are changing out for dance class or for PE. So those are not something, unfortunately, that you can wear just kind of floating around campus. It's just specifically for those classes, but they are on the website. Let's see. We talked about outerwear. So Glow provides one free uniform item, or one free uniform to all incoming students. So at Custom Logo Wear, where you get uniforms, you can get a free top and a free bottom. You can get a free top and a cardigan, whatever you choose. So any incoming Glow girl gets a free uniform. So we know we're going to be in kind of a funky territory with being in a virtual environment. So if you're choosing all virtual, you will need to have a Glow polo, at least for, just appearing professional in your video, really getting the feel like you're getting up, you're going to school. So you need to always be wearing your Glow uniform when you're in synchronous learning online. So if I missed anything, let's see, shoes. Yeah,
Yes, Miss Staley.
Yeah.
What are the rules about socks at Glow Academy?
We are full-blown crazy sock mode. You can wear whatever kind of funky socks that you have in your wardrobe. If you want some good tips, ask Mr. Grayson. He's got a whole collection of funky socks. So there are lots of ways that you can add a splash of personality. This year we'll be wearing masks, so that's a way to add some personality. Yeah, so socks are free game, whatever kind of socks you want to wear.
Can I wear shoes to Glow Academy?
You may not wear high-heeled shoes. If we had a fire drill, how are you going to get out of the building? You need to always have closed-toed flat shoes, so no slides, unfortunately. I know those are popular. But yeah, so closed-toed. You can wear Crocs as long as they have the back hook on them. Is that correct?
That's correct. Thanks, Miss Daly. Yeah, safety first.
All right.
That was awesome. Thank you so much. So we're going to get into, like I was saying, more of your everyday life at Glow. We talked about what we got to wear, but what are we going to do at school? So we're going to talk about a day at Glow. And so we're going to go into what it's going to look like if we were on campus. It's a little bit different with the virtual blended classroom, but we're going to look at what it's truly like. We're going to start off with how some of the classes start with leadership advisory. And I'm going to have Mr. Grayson talk about leadership advisory and what it means and why that is important for developing the whole girl education.
Oh, am I on? Yes. Oh, so leadership advisory, it's the dopest part of the morning. It's like the classroom equivalent of a sprinkled Pop-Tart, right? Like this is where you dive deep into your day. We get your attendance first so that we know that you're in the building, so you're in the loving embrace of all of your teachers' arms, because we got you. As far as Information Hub, this is where you're going to get your daily announcements of all the cool things that are happening during the day. Permission slips will be turned in and dispersed. And also, everybody's favorite part, it's where you get your report cards. Report cards for everybody. As far as whole girl education, and this will be a term that you hear kind of throughout your entire journey in Glow, this is where you'll get a chance to learn some of the things that you don't get from your academic classes, like kind of navigating your relationships. Like, I don't fully understand, but I get to see and experience and empathize what it's like to be a middle school girl and wondering why one day your homegirl is sitting with this person and now your homegirl is sitting with this person. And it could get crazy. Your leadership advisory teachers are here to get you all the way through that. Or I think I heard earlier, you're nervous about the work. Your leadership advisory teachers help you learn like new learning strategies, all of that. And community building, my favorite part, it is an opportunity. Like you'll do get a bunch of lessons, but you can have fun in the classroom as well. I know my leadership advisories, we had Fridays where we would mix terrible foods and just see what it tastes like Kool-Aid flavored pickles or chocolate covered chicken nuggets. The girls loved it, I didn't, but there's your community building. Leadership advisory is dope.
I don't think anyone could have explained it any better. Thank you so much, Mr. Grayson. And so like you said, that's how we start our day. And we're gonna go into our electives. And I've taught at a few different schools, and I gotta say, the electives at GLOW are really amazing. It's a great opportunity to get into a lot of different things, from music, visual arts, STEM-based activities, cooking and dance. And you can see on the pictures, everyone kind of getting involved and just learning about so many different new things that are exposing you to new opportunities. So it's a great chance to really grow as a GLOW girl. So we're gonna go into a few of the different activities and hear about what's involved, what do we gotta do and what might happen. And so I think Ms. Michaels is going to talk a little bit about exploring the cooking electives, what happens, where are we going, how's this all gonna happen?
Unmute. All right. Well, this is going to be kind of a work in progress since we're going to be doing a lot of it remotely. But we want to start out talk about how like women's chefs have just gone and grown from the 1960s all the way up into the present, and how they've had to kind of work their tail ends off just for the recognition, but they're just really doing awesome now. Then we're going to progress into kitchen safety, because you don't want to be in the kitchen and get hurt, because that's just really no fun whatsoever. Also, my good friend Beth, who's in one of the pictures, she and I have a safety record of less than 1% after doing this for 4 years. So we're going to keep that going. We're going to work on basic measurements, because you sure need to know how to measure stuff if you want a recipe to work, which also going to Miss Carey and Miss Stepansky will be using math. So you'll see that math is going to be fun in the kitchen. Got to learn how to use a knife. Got to be organized in the kitchen so you can actually put a recipe together. And then we're going to talk about all the different senses that go into cooking. One thing that we've got that's so awesome at GLOW is this culinary lab. It is huge. It has Cuisinarts, it's got knives, it's got stoves, ovens, any pot and pan that you want. And we're going to be doing a lot of really cool cooking in there. So that's pretty much it. And it's, I love cooking it. I love teaching it. And I love every student that's in there. So I think we're going to have a great time.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ms. Michaels. Exploring visual arts. And you heard from Mr. Grayson a few times, so he's going to talk a little bit more about what his classes involve and how all that dynamic works.
Yes. So here's a bit more of a formal introduction. My name is Mr. Grayson. I have also been teaching at GLOW. This will be my 3rd year. Before teaching, I was an artist, and I'm still an artist, and I get to do both, and it is my jam. In my art class, my favorite thing to do is to teach students what to do with art. Art can be this real like weird thing. If you step into the classroom, you're like, I don't know how to draw, so I just totally give up. Well, that's why we talk about what the definitions of art is, because it's not just, man, I just drew this really dope Transformer. Is that a cartoon you guys still watch? It's a cartoon I watch. Anyway, but understanding the styles of art. So why would some groups love Chibi versus like an anime versus like real classical oil paints. And again, my favorite is just becoming an artist, because that's the part about doing art. Well, I've got all this talent and I've got all these ideas in my head. Well, how do I put them out? How do I use this out into the real world? And I think, so this has just become a real staple in my classroom. Every morning I'll give a prompt just to kind of get kids' heads moving. And that prompt could potentially be a purple dinosaur wearing a sport coat made of entirely rusty forks. I don't know. They change daily and they will never make sense, but it's my jam. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Mr. Grayson. It didn't show up on the slide. I think we're having a little issues with syncing up, but I want Miss Ann White to talk a little bit about STEM and what's going on in there.
Yeah, Mr. Mitro, if it's possible, I can share my screen because I have it up.
For sure.
Okay, perfect. And then I'll pass it back over to you. Okay. There we go. Oh, wait. Can you guys see my Exploring STEM slide? I will take that as a yes.
No.
That is a no.
Oh,
That's
no? Never mind. I will not. Oh, I need to click the button. Okay. This is a good sign for your STEM teacher. Kidding. It'll be great. Okay. Now can you see my Exploring STEM slide? Maybe it's loading. There we go.
Yes.
Okay. Hi. Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, I'm Miss White. This is my third year teaching at GLOW. I didn't put that fact in there. For the past 2 years, I've been teaching the regular science courses. So I taught 7th grade science and I taught 8th grade science. This is my first year moving into our STEM courses, and I'm extremely excited. I love hands-on inquiry-based learning, and we're going to have a great time in the STEM lab this year. Similar to our culinary lab, we have a beautiful STEM lab area, and you can see it in some of these pictures with awesome tables, tons of different gadgets, different things we can build with, different materials. There are saws in there, and we're definitely going to have to saw something. We're going to make that happen. But a little bit of an overview of some of the things that we're going to be looking at. We're going to be talking about the engineering design process. So how do we find a problem, work through it, find a solution, test out prototypes, everything like that. We're going to be learning different computer science and coding skills. Like I mentioned earlier, this is something that's going to be really easy and interactive to do in this virtual environment. So I'm still really excited for our STEM courses, even though we have to start off virtually. We're going to be looking at some 3D printing. GLOW has a couple of awesome 3D printers. It will be designing different objects and different things to print out. And then we will also be looking at some robotics. We've got some Spheros. I know some of you have used those before. We've got Raspberry Pis. We've got Makey Makeys. We've got a lot of really, really, really cool objects for us to start learning and exploring STEM. Yeah. I'll stop here.
Thank you, Ms. White. Let me throw the presentation back up on here. All right. All right. Are we presenting again? Maybe. Yep. Awesome.
Yes, it's good.
So we're going to look at a little bit more of what's going to go on in the classroom. And we're looking, this year we're going to be having what's known as one-on-one. And that program's going to be situated with your Chromebooks. Each student will be assigned their own personal Chromebook to use all year. And that kind of ties in a lot with what we're doing with virtual learning and our blended learning program. And you're going to be able to use that for so many different classrooms. And that's going to be something you'll be able to take home and use. Miss Sarah is going to discuss a little bit about how that computer is going to tie into your grade work, but how is that going to look with your grades, and how does GLOW do all that? So I'm going to pass that over to her.
Yeah, so it's going to be super simple as far as grades go. We know that grades aren't everything, but as far as you will be graded for online or whenever we shift to in-person. It's based on the North Carolina high school grading scale of 10 points. So you can see everything's there in 10-point increments from A, B, C, D, F, or an INC for incomplete. We're going to talk a little bit more about rubrics and why they're important on the next page. But you can find this all in the GLOW Middle School Handbook, which you will all be receiving as well. As far as rubrics go, you might have used these a bit in elementary school, but a rubric is really a roadmap about the assignment that you're completing and how do you get to the grade that you want to get to. So it says, why will all assignments that are not multiple choice have rubrics? And it's because you should always know why you got the grade you did, and you should know how to get the grade you want. So when you have a rubric, you can go through the table and you can kind of go tick, 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 I've got that, I've got that. Ooh, I don't really have that so much. That's something I need to work on if I want to get that grade a little bit higher of what you want. So they're going to be very clear, whether it's on an essay or a group presentation, whatever it might be, you're going to really have those rubrics to help you get to the place that you want to get to. And your teachers are really going to help you understand how to read the rubric and use the rubric best for you. So if you haven't used rubrics so much before in your classes, you will learn at GLOW. As far as the curriculum at GLOW, you can see the classes that you will be doing through 6th, 7th, and 8th grade in middle school. Your schedule every single day, you're going to attend leadership advisory that Mr. Davis was talking about at first, English language arts, mathematics, science, or social studies, and maybe one of the science or social studies teachers can chime in a little bit about how that's balanced. And then, of course, your elective, which we talked about earlier.
Sorry, I was trying to unmute, and apparently I was unmuted the whole time. But science and social studies are split up by each semester. So you might start off your school year with learning about social studies and history and our government. And then when you come back into the second semester, it will be switched and you'll go into science or vice versa. And so you'll have 2 different classes, and they'll just be broken up into different sections. And I just wanted to remind you guys too, if you're listening and just thinking of stuff, feel free to put a question or raise your hand in the chat box, and we'll definitely make sure we address any comments. Ms. Garza, if you're on with us still, we're gonna look at testing and kind of our blended learning classrooms.
We love testing, right, ladies? So we just want you to be aware of, what types of tests may you expect to take. So in 6th grade, we do have what's called a universal screener. So at the beginning of the school year, we may be asking you to take some really fast tests. They're not anything you have to study for or worry about, just gives us some information about where you are in reading and math. And we use that information to support you. That's how we're going to use that information this year. We also do something called a check-in. And you may be familiar with some check-ins that happen in elementary school. And 3 times a year in 1st quarter, 2nd quarter, and 3rd quarter, we're going to check in with you with a quick assessment about how you're doing. If you are knocking things out the park, struggling, or exactly where you're supposed to be, again, we just use that information to support you in the best way possible. It's not anything we got to stress out about. At the end of 6th grade, we will take 2 end of grade tests. And we will take those in reading and we'll take those in math. And that will just tell us if we're on board with where we hope that we are. And again, our goal is always to use those assessments to guide you and support you in any way that we can. But our first goal is to just teach you as hard as we can and to take that anxiety off of you for those tested moments. So we need to think of any type of test that we're taking as a way for us to get information about where we are, but not information about who we are. And that's how we'll use our 6th grade assessments moving forward this school year. All of our classrooms this year are going to adopt something called an enriched virtual model. And here's what that means. Right now, during this wonky COVID-19 moment, it means that even if we are having to learn from home, you're still going to see our faces. You're going to see your teachers' faces at least twice a week in a synchronous learning environment. Because we don't want online learning to be lonely. We want to see each other. And if you ask a lot of the teachers that have met with me over the summer, they will share with you that sometimes I hijack them into pretend meetings and then I'll hold them hostage online for a long time just to have some more adults to talk to, because it can be lonely being in quarantine. So twice a week, you'll meet with one teacher, but really that will happen 4 days a week. And we're going to share that schedule with you. So for example, you might meet with your 1st and 3rd core teacher on Monday and Tuesday, and your 2nd and 4th core teachers on Thursday and Friday. So even if we're at home, we still get to be face to face, and it's super safe, right? You can bring your computer closer than 6 feet to your face. So that is a perk. And if we have the opportunity, when we have the opportunity to come back onto our beautiful campus, enriched virtual learning also means that we get to use our technology and those Chromebooks to our advantage while we're in class together. So whether that's using our Chromebooks to help us solve a problem as we're programming our robots in our STEM elective, or it's digitally figuring out a way to make our artwork live in our art classes, we're going to use our technology in a way that makes learning more fun. And so an enriched virtual model, this language of blended classrooms, means that no matter where we are, we have opportunities to be face-to-face, to talk to real people, and we have opportunities to use our technology and encourage you to teach us new ways to use our technology that make learning more fun. This year, when it comes to our blended classrooms, you will have access to see your grades on a weekly basis for all of the assignments that you're turning in, and your parents do as well. So keep that in mind. And you'll be able to access all of your course materials online when you're not at campus. And if there is something that we need you to tangibly hold on to, we're going to make sure that we communicate with you when you can come get it, or when we, if we have to, sometimes bring it to you. So that first week of orientation, there might be some items we want to put in your hands, and we'll find a way to make that happen. Ms. Hunter, do you want to talk a little bit about 6th grade orientation?
Sure. So this is a wonky school year, and it's going to continue to be wonky until we figure this COVID-19 thing out, right? So we're going to start out the year strong by coming together on 2 days, once the week of August 17th. So we're actually going to meet with 6th graders on August 18th, and we'll come back the next week. And our goal on those orientation days are to get all the stuff that we need to be strong learners when we're at home. And that stuff includes a Chromebook. We're going to send you home with your own individual whiteboard. You're going to get whiteboard markers. You're going to get an Avid notebook so you can keep yourself organized. You're going to get a pencil case. Miss Garza is making some really cool yes and no cards and green light, red light cards to visually communicate to your teachers, hey, I got it. Hey, slow down. I don't got it. We're going to send you home with all of that stuff. We're also going to practice logging in, participating in conversations, joining into live classes, all the stuff that you're going to need to know how to do well in order to be at home and be an engaged learner. So we're going to do that, but we're also going to have some fun. We're going to get to meet each other. You're going to meet your teachers on campus. You're going to see this campus if you haven't been here yet. So all of that is happening at orientation because we want to set you up for success. Also, because we are in it to win it this year. It's going to be an awesome year, and we're going to start off strong by getting to know each other on campus, getting the tools that we need in order to be successful when we're not on campus and we're home.
Awesome. Thank you, Ms. Hunter. Thank you, Ms. Garza. So that was a lot of information about testing and Chromebooks and all kinds of stuff going on in the classroom. And we're talking about the day-to-day. So what happens afterwards? Can I stay after school? You met this new friend and you met in art class, or you bonded over, someone's Harry Potter notebook. And, what is there to do after school? And there's actually a lot of different extracurricular activities. And some of these are going to try to mold themselves for our virtual learning environment. Some of them won't be able to move into a virtual setting, and we're going to have to wait till we get in the classroom. But here are a few different ones. We have Science Olympiad, Running Club, Harry Potter Club, Chess Club, Art Club, some really fun things. If Mr. Jones or Ms. White want to touch on Science Olympiad, just real quick, kind of talk about what kind of fun stuff you get into after school.
Sure. We are aware that, of course, the big question is, what is everything going to look like when we start fall? But no matter what, there will be some sort of science after school activity. So last year, Mr. Jones and myself were the coaches for our Science Olympiad team. So we had a blast preparing for and competing in the local competition, doing different science, like curricular based science activities where we're learning different facts and becoming experts on different topics, and then some engineering design challenges as well. So we had a lot of fun with that. Mr. Jones, I don't know if you want to add in anything more.
No, ma'am, that was perfect. I defer to your expertise.
All right. Thanks for calling me ma'am.
Thank you, guys. Another one, if you're looking at the picture, it's Harry Potter Club. That is something I started to run at our school. Pretty much what it says. If you're a big fan of Harry Potter, some days we'll sit down in a round circle and just discuss, a particular book, and, just carry on with all the different conversations, something that you might want to do in class, but you could stay after once a week or so and just kind of hang out with like-minded people. And if you also look in the window area, that's my classroom, and that is our science class tarantula. Her name is Florence, and I got her 2 years ago when we had to evacuate for Hurricane Florence, so I thought no better name to name her Florence. So that's Harry Potter Club, and also Art Club. I believe Mr. Grayson runs that.
Yes, I do. Art Club is open to like all of the students who are completely dedicated to always drawing nonstop and can see themselves wanting to do something with it like later on down the line, or even if they just really love it. I like to do big community projects with the Art Club. So far, we've been doing like holiday window decorations for Mayfair and have been winning the competitions. Some of my art students have designed menus for restaurants. Some of them have even had opportunities to like do gallery work and market work where they got to sell their work. It's just a really dope time to get together and like art your brains out and just really kind of figure out what it means to become an artist.
Nice. And if I'm not mistaken, Ms. Sharp runs the chess club, is that correct? Maybe. Yes. Okay. I'm not sure if she was there, but an awesome opportunity if you like games like checkers and chess. They meet up and do that as well. And we also have the running club, which is a great. Oh, hey, Ms. Sharp.
I'm sorry, Mr. Mitros. I was
you're
sponsoring. It was snack time. I was sponsoring. I was sponsoring the chess club. So if anyone is interested in, running the chess club or playing, I'll be happy to do that. Thank you.
Gotcha. All right. So as we move on, like I said, I know that was so much information, and maybe your nervous list got a little bit longer from the beginning of the presentation, and that's okay. Or maybe your excited moments got a little longer. But before we move on, before our closing activity, is there any any questions that you might have? It could be as simple as what kind of tarantula you have, or what kind of math are we going to learn in class? Yeah.
Just to put it out to the whole group, Mr. Mitra, one question was asked that others might want to know if you're not following the chat. It's how do we find out who our homeroom teacher is? And Ms. Fernandez answered that when you come to school on the orientation dates, that's when you will get your homeroom teacher assignment. So any other questions, you can throw them up in the chat. We can dictate them to the whole group, or you can unmute yourself. Let us know.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sarah. All right. And if you, as we get in the closing activity, if something pops up in your head, please don't hesitate to jump in there, and we'll definitely address any of that. Ms. Tomlin, do you want to have the honors of having fun with our closing activity?
Absolutely, I would love to have that opportunity. But first, it has been a lot of information, and you've been sitting still for a long time. So just take a second and wiggle. Wake up your brain a little bit. It's a lot of stuff. Guess what? There is no quiz on this information. You're not going to have to take a test on it. If you forget what your uniform is supposed to look like, or what your classes are, or what one-to-one means, that's okay. All those grown-ups on the screen that introduce themselves, we are so happy to answer questions, help you figure things out, talk to you about what you're scared about. So don't worry about it. There's a lot of information. It was good information, and we'll help remind you. Okay, so that piece of paper you used at the beginning, if you want to use the back of it or a new piece of paper, here's what your job is. You just won $1 million, $10 million. Sorry, you just won $10 million. 10. Take 3 minutes. I'm going to set a timer and make a list of all the things you would want to buy or do. Mute your mic so everyone can think. And when the 3 minutes are up, I want you to really be brave and be willing to share what you would want to do or want to buy with your $10 million. Grown-ups, play too. Go. There, we have 1 more minute. All right, you ready? Got your list? Okay, who's going to be brave? Who's going to go first?
I'll go first, Ms. Tomlin. I'll start us off.
Thank you, Mr. Richard.
Some people might not know I'm a huge hockey fan. I play every week, and I love watching hockey. My team's in the playoffs for the first time in 9 years, and I wish I could had $10 million to buy a small apartment in Vancouver so I could go to all the Canucks games and have a place to stay.
Nice.
I would just like to match Mitro on I'm right around the corner from Shark Stadium right now. And if I use 10 million of that to buy season tickets, I also would. And to finally fix my blazer. Everybody's going.
I think Miss Lawton wanted to share her list.
Well, if I won $2 million, I would donate some to the homeless, buy lots of dogs, give some to the school, save some for college, and travel and take my mom to Paris.
Nice.
That is excellent. Nice. All right, who else? Who's brave?
I think my apologies, Studio 13.
Hi. Hi.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I would like to go to Dubai, and I would like to donate to children in poverty.
Very nice list.
Nice.
Anyone else want to jump in there?
Share mine. This is, yeah, it's mine. Oh yeah, I thought my camera was off. So you guys will learn, I love food and I love eating. So with $10 million, I would use that money to sail around the world and eat all of the food from every country. I love food from other countries. So I would just spend as long as I could, as long as $10 million lasted, traveling to different places, eating all the different food. Yeah.
Nice.
Mr. Mitro, I will share, but when I did this, it was like, what's the first thing that came to mind? And it just isn't fun like everybody else's. My first thought was I would hire an investment lawyer. And maybe
You're such a grown up.
And maybe change my phone number was second on my list. Yeah, I think I would hire a lawyer and figure out what the heck do I do with $10 million to spend it well and to make it last. And then the next thing on my list was like Roth IRAs. There was a lot, you know, and then I'm listening to everybody else. I'm like, oh, that's way more fun than the first things that I would do. So I'm making some notes here that I may need to think through some fun things to add to my list.
I will share my list, and then I'd love to hear from Abby or some of the other girls on the call. So I would go on a big trip. I want to see the world. I really want to go to Europe. So that would be one of my things. I would create a scholarship for girls going to college. I would retire. Sorry, Mrs. Hunter, but that would be pretty close to the tops of my list. I'm just saying. I would buy a convertible because I really want one. And Mr. Mitro, I'm not going to lie, I sort of added to my list after the time once you said that. I am a huge Carolina fan. I went to UNC Chapel Hill for school, and I would get season tickets to the UNC women's soccer team and the UNC women's basketball team, and to season tickets to the Seattle Storm because they're my favorite WNBA team. And then I would be poor, but that's okay. Mr. Kirby, Abby, Yanita.
Like Miss Johnson wants to share. Yanita.
Oh, super.
I would buy K-pop concert tickets and BTS merch and tickets to see them at a fan meeting and buy my mom a new house and a new car.
Very nice.
That's awesome. I haven't heard the word BTS in many months. So it was very refreshing to hear someone talk about that. Miss Long, you had one more you needed to add?
Yes, one more thing. So I added one more thing to my list. I will buy a cool car.
Nice.
Oh my goodness. Out here by where I'm at.
All right. Anyone else want to share? Did we have anyone in the chat that added? No?
I can go. I like this game. I play it all the time with money I don't have, so that's wonderful. No, I would definitely do a lot of traveling anywhere I could go. And I would start I always talk about, my wife and I talked about starting a scholarship. So we definitely get a scholarship going. And just, pay off, make sure my parents are well taken care of, and get out and see the world. That's it.
That's awesome. Thank you, Mr. Kirby.
So, Mr. Mitro, to bring us home at the end of this, I would say if I had $1 million, which I feel like I already do have since I get the priceless experience of being the principal at the Girls Leadership Academy of Wilmington, there is no doubt that I would take that money and establish a trust that would allow for us to continue our vision of high school graduation, college enrollment, and a lifetime of professional and personal success by allowing girls to go to college and not come out at the end with a lot of debt. It's really important that you practice those words with me over and over and over again. I will graduate. I will go to college. I will be successful in life, because that's what you are starting today in your journey with us at GLOW.
Thank you so much, Ms. Hunter. If there's no more questions, I think that's a wrap. We've had a lot of good information. We've met a lot of new people. And thank you so much for joining us. And we look forward to this awesome journey ahead.
I have a question.
Yes.
When are we going back to school?
Ms. Hunter?
When are we going back to school?
Man, I love that question. And in fact, you are not the only one asking that question. There are so many people who are asking that question. The answer to that question is you're going to go back to school on August 18th for at least one day to get your stuff and go home and learn successfully. But the real answer is we're going to come back to campus together when it's safe. As you know, we have this crazy bug that is making its way through our community called COVID-19. And sometimes it makes people just a little bit sick, and sometimes it makes people a lot of sick. And we at GLOW want to make sure everybody stays no sick. And so we're going to stay home and take care of ourselves and our families, and then come back to campus when it's safe to do so. Right now, our infection rate in New Hanover County is pretty high. So we need to continue to wear our masks and wash our hands and physically distance from each other in order to come back to school as soon as possible.
Perfect. And I think I speak for everyone when I say we really look forward to for that moment, and we really look forward to teaching you guys, whether virtually or in person. But if there's no more questions, thank you guys so much, and we're really excited, and we look forward to seeing you guys in a couple of weeks. Take care.
I'll hang